Zach Sang and the gang.
It's Zach Sang and the gang. We are hanging out in the studio with Adrienne Bailon. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome back. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Excited to be back.
Congratulations on everything. You've had so much since you've last been here.
I know. That's a good thing.
Because
Thank God.
The last time you were here, you were talking about possibly the rumor of joining The View at that time.
I know, and I already knew that I had signed on to do a show called The Real, but I wasn't able to say it at the time.
Wow, which is really essentially, it's a younger, more diverse version of The View.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not saying that we have some new, some innovative show. You know, it's a basic panel, but I think what makes the show really different is the cast. The cast makes the show really different. You think it, we say it. We are outspoken women who have something to say, and we keep it real. And I think that makes the show really different.
Now, was that kind of your end goal in all of this? Like, was that kind of your dream position? I mean,
my dream position is to be Beyonce, but that's I mean, she clearly has my dream life. Like, God got us confused, and I want my life back. But no, it isn't what I officially thought would be like the end.
Yeah,
like where I'd end up.
Where did you think you were going to end up?
Probably where I end up.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's not over yet.
I mean, no, but like,
I mean, geez, it's not the end.
No, but what kind of path?
I'm not retiring into this position as my seat on The Real.
No, but what kind of path did you think your career was going to take? Like when you were doing Cheetah Girls?
Yeah, I honestly thought that I'd go in more the music route. Mm-hmm. But the great thing is that doing The Real allows me to now do the music.
Yeah,
I think the biggest thing that went wrong with trying to make a solo album straight out of the Cheetah Girls was trying to create music that really was personal and that reflected who I was as a 26-year-old woman who had been through love and living with a man and not moving across the country away from him and breaking up and cheating and all these things. That's what my album sounded like. And when people would listen to it, they'd be like, what does that little 15-year-old cheetah girl know about love and heartbreak?
Exactly.
And there was a disconnect. And people couldn't get like, well, why the hell is she talking about that? Like, it just didn't make sense to them.
It was a weird stereotype that you kind of had on you.
Yeah, and in my mind, I'm like, this is who I really am. Like, I don't get why they don't get that I'm 26. It was hard for people for the music to be believable at that time. Come full circle after doing The Real, if you don't know who I am by now, you don't get that I'm grown and I've been through it and back. We hit some pretty heavy topics that I think a lot of women can relate to. I mean, I turned 30 in 2 weeks, and it's a coming of age thing, the things I've gone through, where I want to go, possibly one day being married, a mom, all those things. And I think the music will definitely make sense now.
Does that stuff, like thinking about getting married and having kids, and now that you're on the verge of turning 30, does that kind of scare you a little bit?
Absolutely. I'd be a damn liar if I told you it didn't. It's scary. I mean, you think about it. I think this thing about me turning 30 is almost a joke. I think someone's making a joke. Like it's a joke. Like I'm a grown up. Is that a joke? Like I'm not a grown up, but it's real. And I think what do I think about it? I want to get married for sure.
Do you?
Someday, yeah.
But how do you juggle both, right? Because you're so into your career and you're really doing everything from the nail polish line to everything. You find a man who thinks that
a woman that's successful and driven is incredibly sexy.
And he has to be okay with you not making that much time for him, right? Because you do
make time for them.
You might not have a crazy amount of time.
That's BS. People that say you can't make time. You make time for what you want to make time for.
That's good to know. Was it like that with you and Rob? Because you both were really busy at the time.
Yeah, but his life was different. It was school.
Yeah, that's right. And you were still working.
Yeah, I went on tour.
Wow. How do you do that? Did he come with you? Did he come on stops?
No.
It just happened?
Yeah.
The Skype and the phone. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it didn't work out so well, so maybe that's not
that's not the way to go.
Maybe that's not the way to go. But I will say, now in my current relationship, I find that you make the time. You figure it out. You meet up. I think when you have somebody that also is successful and, has their own thing going on as well, if you both have hectic schedules, you say, okay, babe, well, I'll fly here to the city. Actually, I'll be doing such and such here. Let me take the gig in Atlanta because you'll be there.
Yeah.
That works out perfect.
So that's important.
And you make it work.
Finding someone in the industry.
No, he doesn't have to be in the industry.
No?
No.
As long as he's busy and driven in his own way.
Yes. Two people with two lives come together and make another life. It's awesome.
You have to complement each other's lives to make it work.
Yes. Like I don't think I think if you don't have something to come back and offer when you have a conversation, and it's like, well, what did you do today? Well, what did you do today? And you have no one has anything to say. Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna stare at each other all day. Like, you need a life, and I need a life, and we need to come back and have something to offer to each other's lives.
Now, which is more frightening to you, getting married or having kids?
Having kids.
Is that more kind of? Is that really?
That's permanent.
That's super frightening.
That's like I can't divorce my kid.
No,
just having this conversation is scaring me.
They're there. And they're yours
my
for life.
uterus is screaming no right now. Like hell no. Please don't do this to me. I just started doing crunches. I'm trying to get my body like we can't go and totally ruin it yet.
Few more years.
But you will be having kids.
Of course, yeah. I want kids, yeah.
You got to pass on the talent somehow.
I want at least one. I'd be happy with just one.
You want them in the industry?
No.
Really?
No.
Why?
Not until they're older.
See, me, it's different. I want to pass on my talent to my children, and then I'll fund them for like the first 10 years of their life.
No, I'm not doing that.
No?
I think if my daughter wants to sing, I'd let her do it, but she has to be older. Like, she can't do anything professionally until she's at least 15 or 16.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Like, you need to have a full, somewhat of a child. I think by 16 I was already grown when I joined.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't feel affected by it at all. I mean, somebody else might think I'm crazy. I think I'm pretty sane.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally sane.
Yeah.
What do you think of the people who were doing that from, childhood, and then they really turned out crazy? Because there's some scary stories. Even now with Joe Jonas coming out in the news and him going to rehab and all that kind of
I
stuff.
didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there was serious rumors flying around. I mean, you're probably friends with some people like that have been in the industry for their whole lives.
I think the biggest difference is that I don't have stage parents. My mom works at Cornell, always has.
Yeah.
My dad works no one ever depended on me for money, so that there's no pressure.
It makes a difference.
Like, I can come home and decide I want to go to college tomorrow. My parents actually would have preferred that for me.
Yeah.
So I had a reverse situation. Do you know what I mean?
No, because there are a lot of my friends.
Yeah, my parents are the safety net. Not the opposite.
They bring
I'm
the
not
income
my
for the
parents'
family.
safety net.
Exactly.
They're my safety net.
That's the best way for it to be.
Yeah, that you're my parent. I'm not here to provide. I think because a weird thing happens where you can't discipline me because I'm bringing in the money. There's some weird thing that happens there, I think.
And then it becomes that the kid's career is their career too. So everything that
stage mom
exactly.
And you depend on. I never felt any of that. My mom was the complete opposite. Like, sweetie, when do you want me to try to get you that job at Cornell? We have great benefits. Find yourself some stability.
Does your mom still bring that up every now and then?
Absolutely.
That's
100%.
crazy.
She'll send you the application in the mail
All the time. She can get me a great job with great benefits.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's all you need.
Yep.
What is next for you to conquer? What are you going to take on next?
Again, going back into the studio. We're finishing up the album with Neo, so it'll be going
That's
back
great.
to music. And I know we spoke last time about my nail polish line,
how's that
Fingertip
doing?
Fetish. Really, really well. I'm so excited about it. It's so crazy. It's now being carried at the Bellagio.
Wow.
Yeah, in Vegas, their spa carries it. Like, a bunch of cool boutique spots have really reached out and carried the product, and it's
That's
doing
awesome.
well. What else? I have my movie coming out.
Wait.
October 18th. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Duh.
Tell me about it.
I have a movie coming out called I'm in Love with a Church Girl, and it comes out this Friday, October 18th, and I'm so excited about it, so proud of it, hoping to go back into more movies, more films, film and acting.
I think it's so insane how far you've come. Because out of all the Cheetah Girls, thinking back, you've really had so far the standout career. I mean, obviously
Thank
Raven
you.
did things here and there, but she also achieved a lot more
Previous
pre
to
the
doing-
Cheetah Girls.
Yeah. Very true.
But you have really had the standout career, and you've been able to keep it going
you.
for, years now. How long has it been
you.
since the Cheetah Girls? 6 years?
I've now been doing this altogether, my career, 15 years.
Wow. The Cheetah Girls was that long ago?
Yeah, when I was 15, I'll be 30.
Oh my God, I totally forgot that.
Well, 3LW was 15. Cheetah Girls,
That's
I started
right.
when I was 19.
Wow. You really, it's incredible that you keep it going. Is there ever that fear that it can go away tomorrow?
No, because I can go home and apply for
Yeah,
Cornell.
she can go and work with her mom at Cornell.
Yeah, and I'd be just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I promise it to you on everything I love. I'd be just fine. And I think that's the difference. You do what you love. You do what works, and it's still going. So I'm still out here doing what I got to do.
And you're in a relationship now, I heard you mention.
Yeah.
Anyone cool? Anyone, obviously he has to be...
Anyone cool?
He's absolutely amazing and cool, but he's no one that you guys would care about.
he's
No,
obviously
he's not a
successful and
celebrity.
driven.
He is, yeah.
What does he do?
Works behind the scenes,
How do you meet him? Working?
Mutual friends. Yeah. No, not working.
That's
Mutual
the best
friends.
way.
Yeah.
'Cause
We
then-
hung out in the
yeah.
same crew of people, and then we became really, really good friends, and then I thought he was really cute, and that's the end.
Now,
Perfect.
Hold on, one more question.
Yeah.
When you're now on the verge of turning 30,
Yes.
do you go after guys? And when guys come to you,
Yeah.
do you now start thinking, is this the guy I can possibly marry?
I've always thought that way, but yes.
So do you think this...
I've never seriously dated a man without the idea of possibly,
Really?
yeah. That's the church girl in me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I'm not trying to be funny. I really was raised Pentecostal. Like, my mother's a Sunday school teacher. My dad is a worship leader. Like, I was raised in church, so I always dated people with the idea that I would marry them. Not that I'm just doing this for fun or to, like, waste my time away. No. I date people with the... I'm a relationship girl. So
that's
I want to
great.
be with you, and when I automatically, like, date you, I'm like, wow, could I see qualities in him where I can, build?
And you can build on this guy? Do you
Absolutely.
You genuinely think he's the one?
Absolutely.
Now, I have a better question.
Yes.
When it's time to get married,
Yes.
does Mr. Robert Kardashian get an invitation? Or is that weird to invite your ex who's not really your friend?
I'd say that's inappropriate.
Is it?
I wouldn't
No,
invite
yeah,
an ex
why
to
would
a
you?
wedding.
Bro, I've
Why
heard
would you
that
invite your
happen.
ex to a wedding?
First off, that's stupid because you're the one getting married. Second off, he's going to feel awkward. It's like the worst situation
I
ever.
don't think my husband-to-be wants my
No.
ex in there. No.
I don't know. I've heard that happen before.
That's weird.
No, that happened with Shelly. The old co-host.
Announcement. PSA. Why in God's name would you ever invite your ex-boyfriend
that
to your
happened.
wedding?
I did the topic on the radio once. It
And
has
who was
happened.
this that did this?
No, I think Shelly got invited to a wedding from one of her exes. It was this guy who was obsessed with radio, and she dated him for about like a year or so. It was 6 months.
Okay, then he's disrespectful to his new wife.
Well, she,
Yeah.
she
I'm
didn't
sure
go.
that if his wife knew that his ex, why would you invite your ex-girlfriend? Why
That
would you
be
even
so
want that?
know.
awkward. She should have ripped it up and then called him and said,
I
"What are
didn't-
you
well-
thinking?"
See, this is like a real conversation,
Yeah.
like the show The Real,
No.
where I say
No.
I would
Why not?
kindly ask that my man not invite anyone that he's had sexual intercourse with to my
yeah,
wedding.
right?
I don't,
That's
for some,
weird.
For
I
some
don't-
reason, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Because maybe it depends on how you end your relationship.
No, why are you there?
They're an ex. An ex is an ex for a reason. You just cut them out of your life. They're done.
Really?
If I don't want it in my interview, why do I want it in my wedding?
You're right. That's a good point.
Yeah,
I get it now.
yeah.
Okay. Tell me more about the movie.
Exactly, you see? Okay, the
No,
movie
tell me
is
about the movie.
incredible. Ja Rule is in the movie.
That's
It is-
awesome.
It is a movie about... It's got a great message, man. It's a love story, but at the same time, it's got edge to it. It's got a little bit of gangsta to it. I mean, it's a bad boy who falls in love with a good girl. But I think in a lot of movies, like we've even seen like in past movies that are like classics like Grease and other movies where it always seems like the good girl goes bad.
Yeah.
This is the other way around. This is actually a bad guy who goes good for a good girl, and he meets this girl, and she pretty much, because of her, his life completely changes. But I think it's got a deeper message, which is that your past does not determine your future. And I think it's got a really hopeful message in it for anybody that might feel
That's
hopeless
awesome.
or like they, can't pick up the pieces. It
Yeah.
really, really is inspiring and motivating.
And what was it like working with Ja Rule?
I love Ja. I've known Ja for years. From my 3LW days, we literally did promo tours together. Clearly, I was the opening act. He was the headliner. But I've known him for years. He's a great guy. He's fun. We have a very brother-sisterly relationship, which I think, funny enough, on camera, that comes off great for a romantic relationship because you
Yeah.
just feel comfortable. So we have great chemistry on screen. So I love it. I can't wait for everyone to see it and go out and support a movie that has a great message,
That's great. And it's opening this Friday.
Yes, in theaters nationwide.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so happy for you.
Thank
Since the last
you.
time you were here, you've literally, like, everything you hinted to, you really did achieve. So it's really cool.
Thank you. I really think that, working hard is everything. I think a lot of people don't realize that you can't give up.
Yeah.
If you have a dream, you go after it. You don't stop. You keep going. And I think that I am a product of that.
No, you are.
It's not like I'm some spectacular human being, but just that I just don't give up.
And we were talking about season 2 of your show, The
Yeah.
Real. Think it's going to get picked up?
I hope so. Fingers crossed. I mean, we've got great feedback, and there's so many people that really, really loved it. So we hope so.
What do you think about the harsh competition in that kind of area? The talk show kind of arena?
I honestly believe our show is completely different than anything that was on TV.
It's so young.
And I think that the feedback we got even said that was like, it's nothing like. Now, granted, it is the exact same format as like 3 other shows.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like those 3 other shows because of the casting. I mean, just the chemistry that we have as women on there, the fact that we all have such strong opinions. They're not all the same. We disagree. I think that definitely makes it interesting and entertaining because there's something for everybody. Mm-hmm. And again, that it is real. I think people have a sixth sense to what's real and what's not. And when you watch our show, you're like, dang, I feel like I'm watching my girlfriends, you know?
You are completely real. Some of the questions I posed to you today, other people would have sat here and like gave me the death stare.
No, I don't.
And then never responded.
But I'm an open book. That's naturally how I am. No, I'm naturally an open book. Like, I think that's another thing. Everybody that's on that panel on our show is very much like that. Like, when we met in the very beginning, we sat in agreement and we're like all of us chit-chatting about breastfeeding, babies, what was it, you know, just breakups, fashion, just having real girl talk. And I think that's what the show is.
Adrienne Bailon, you're awesome. As always.
You.
Thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you for having me.